Hello friends, in last lecture we discussed the types of irrigation system and their methods. Today we starts from the types of irrigation project. From the administrative point of view, here is the flow chart showing different irrigation project. These are major project, medium project and minor project. Okay. Next is types of irrigation projects according to the purpose. These irrigation projects are further divided into two types: single purpose and multi-purpose projects. Next, so first we see the major project. Okay, so the major projects are those projects whose estimated cost above rupees 5 crores and project having CCA. CCA means it is a culturable command area of more than 10,000 hectare, and these projects are classified as major projects. Okay, so what is CCA? It is a culturable command area. Means it is the part of gross command area which can be brought under the cultivation. Okay, so next type of project is medium project. So the project costing above rupees 25 lakhs to up to 5 crores. These are classified as a medium project, and they, according to the revised classification, the projects having cultivable command area between 2000 hectare to 10,000 hectare are classified into medium projects. Next is third type of project is minor project. The project whose cost below 25 lakhs are classified as minor projects, and according to the revised classification, the project having cultivable command area of less than 2000 hectare. Okay, so these are classified as a minor projects. Next is generally the major and medium work includes divergence systems, reservoirs and tube wells. Okay, while the minor irrigation projects includes the wells, tube wells, small tanks, percolation tanks, bandaras, etc. Okay, so these are the classification according to administrative point of view. So next is the classification according to purpose. Okay, so the irrigation projects are class divided into two types: single purpose project and multi-purpose project. So first we see the single purpose project. What is that? In this project, a project which is planned and financed for one or single objective. Okay, so it is called as single purpose projects. For example, Koina project. Okay, Bag project. So this Koina project, uh, so by pro so the purpose by for providing this Koina project is it is used for hydropower. Okay, next is Bag project. It is also used for irrigation. So uh, these projects are planned and executed by for one or single objective, so that's why it is called as single purpose projects. Next is a multi-purpose project. uh, this is a project which is planned for more than one objective, is called as multi-purpose projects, and these multi-purpose projects are, for example, Bhakranangal project and Damodar Valley. So in Bhakranangal project, this project is used for irrigation as well as power generation. Okay, so there are more than two objectives, so these are classified in multi-purpose project. Similar, Damodar Valley is also used for irrigation as well as power generation. Okay, so all the single purpose project fulfills other purposes like water supply to nearby localities and fisheries, but these are fulfilled incidentally, then that type of single purpose project is not called as a multi-purpose project. Okay, so next part is a hydrology. Okay, so in from previous slide I explained all the irrigation introduction part or concept about irrigation system. So now we start hydrology. Okay, so the what is hydrology? Hydro means water. Okay, so what is the definition? It is the science which deals with the occurrence, distribution and circulation of water on the surface of earth, means hydrology. Okay, next is the hydrological cycle. So it is the generalized term to show the circulation of water from ocean to atmosphere and from ocean to atmosphere to the ground and hence to the ocean again. Okay, this circulation of water is called as hydrological cycle. So the following figure shows the following figure will give you the brief idea about the hydrological cycle. So see this figure of hydrological cycle. Water from ocean is evaporated into the atmosphere, then the vapors is condensed and falls on the surface of earth as a rainfall. Okay, and some of the water is evaporated back to atmosphere, some portion falls in the direction of ocean and some falls on the land surface. Okay, so the portion which falls on the land is retained by soil, depression and vegetation, and some portion runs as runoff and ultimately joins to the ocean. Okay, so the portion which is retained by soil infiltrate through the soil which joins the ground table water which joins the stream ultimately to ocean. So the portion which is retained by vegetation return to atmosphere by evaporation and transmission. Okay, so thus this hydrological cycle includes the evaporation means from ocean to atmosphere. Okay, evaporation, precipitation means from atmosphere to land surface, and runoff. Okay, so from the civil engineering point of view, it is important for storage, irrigation as well as hydropower generation, etc. Okay, so from this figure, it is the process of transfer of moisture from atmosphere to earth. In term of precipitation, it's conveyance by stream and river to ocean and lakes, etc. And the evaporation of water back to the atmosphere again. Okay, so except for the deep groundwater, the total water supply on the earth is in a constant circulation from earth to atmosphere and back to the earth. Okay, so this is the circular cycle. This is a system of circulation called as hydrological cycle. Okay, so next is here are the some important definitions regarding this hydrology. First is a rainfall. Okay, so what is the rainfall? It is a depth in or centimeter of water that would stand on the surface of earth if it is not lost in any manner, okay, like evaporation or absorption. Next is the rain gauge. Okay, so rain gauge means it is the measurement of, it is the instrument. Okay, rain gauge means it is the instrument which measures the rainfall. It's called as rain gauge. And rain gauge station means it is the place at which the rain gauges are installed for the measurement of rainfall. Okay, it's called as rain gauge station. Next is here are some site selection for rain gauge station. So the following points should be kept in mind while selecting the site for rain gauge station. Okay, so first is it should be open space having area about 5.5 by 5.5 meter. Okay, so next is a distance from the nearest obstruction. It should not be less than 30 meter, okay, or twice the height of obstruction. Next is the gauge. That gauge should have the level surface, level horizontal catch surface. Next is to protect from cattle, dogs, etc. A fence should be erected around the rain gauge station. Okay, so to protect from that, a fence should be erected around that station. Next is a distance of fence should not be less than twice of its height. This is the criteria while selecting the site for rain gauge station. Okay, next is a site that is sheltered from high wind should be chosen. Okay, next is it should not installed on the top side or hill, and the gauge must be mounted firmly. Okay, firmly means it is mounted on a stable ground so that it cannot be disturbed even by the strong wind. Okay, so these are the points while selecting the station for rain gauge. Next is types of rain gauges. Okay, so the rain gauge are classified in two types, non-recording and recording type. And in non-recording, for example, Siemens rain gauge. So first we see the non-recording type of rain gauges. Okay, so in non-recording type of rain gauge, it does not record rain, but it only collects the rain, and this collected rain is measured by means of graduated cylinder. Okay, so for example, for non-recording type, a Siemens rain gauge is commonly used, and this is a non-recording type of rain gauge, which was extensively used for the measurement of rainfall at various rain gauge stations by Indian Meteorological Department. Okay, so this type of rain gauge do not record the rainfall directly, but it collects the rainfall in bottle, and this collected water is measured, and it gives the total amount of rainfall at the rain gauge station during the measuring interval. Okay, so see this Siemens rain gauge figure. It is made of a cylindrical metal case with an internal diameter of 127 mm. This case is installed over the enlarged base. Okay, This case is installed over the enlarged base having diameter of 203.2 mm. Okay, and so after that a funnel is attached. Okay, funnel is fixed at the top of this cylindrical metal case, and a brass rim of having internal diameter of 127 mm is provided to the funnel as shown in the figure. The cylindrical metal case of rain gauge, it is fixed in a masonry or concrete foundation having the dimensions of 600 by 600 by 600 mm. Okay, see this concrete foundation having a size 600 by 600 by 600 mm. Okay, so the foundation, after that the foundation is taken into ground in such a way that the funnel rim is exactly 304.8 mm above the ground level. Okay, uh, next there is a glass provided here. Okay, glass bottle is kept inside the metallic case, and the stem of funnel, this stem of funnel is inserted into the glass bottle as shown in the figure. Okay, so when the rainwater enters the glass bottle through the funnel and get collected in a bottle, and this collected water in a bottle is then measured by means of a graduated cylinder. Okay, which is further gives the rainfall volume in centimeter of water depth. So to determine the water depth in centimeter, the following formula is used, that is the volume of collected water in centimeter cube divided by area of gauge in centimeter square. This formula gives the depth of rainfall, okay, in centimeter. So by using this Siemens rain gauge, it does not record rainfall directly, but by recording the volume, uh, we can determine the water depth or rainfall depth in centimeter. Okay, next is the recording type of rain gauges. These are called as automatic rain gauges also. So these are the rain gauges which can give a permanent automatic rainfall record without any bottle reading. Okay. So these recording type, these recording type rain gauges are these are mostly used as a self recording type rain gauges. First is tipping bucket rain gauge, second is weighing type rain gauge, and third one is float type rain gauge. So first we see the weighing bucket rain gauge. Okay, it is a common self recording rain gauge. So see this figure, from this figure of weighing bucket rain gauge, the rainwater passes through a funnel from this funnel. Okay, this is a receiving funnel. So the rainwater which passes through a funnel into a bucket called as catch bucket, which is placed on a weighing platform of a spring balance. Okay, as shown in the following figure. So when the weight of bucket is increased due to rainwater, then the platform is moved, and the moment of weighing that platform, it is transmitted go through through a system of links and levers to a pen arm. Okay, and this pen arm trace the collected amount. Okay, this pen arms collects that collected amount of rainfall on a graduated graph paper wrapped around a clock, okay, which are driven revolving drum, and due to this it increasing the weight of bucket, which helps in recording the rainfall with time by moving a pen on a revolving drum. So from this revolving drum, by revolving drum, it helps in recording the rainfall with time. Okay, next is the tipping bucket rain gauge. Okay, so this it is a automatic rain gauge. From this figure, the diameter of sharp edge receiver, this is the receiver provided here. The diameter of that receiver is kept, it is 300 provided here. The rainwater which is received by a sharp edge receiver. Okay, so from this sharp edge receiver, a rainwater is received. At the end of receiver, there is a conical funnel provided. Okay, so at the bottom of that receiver, there is a conical funnel is provided here, and a pair of small buckets called as tipping buckets pivoted just below the funnel. Okay, below that funnel, the two buckets are pivoted as shown in this figure. The two buckets are designed in such a way that the 0.25 mm rainfall collects in one bucket, then it tips and allowed to empty this water into the storage tank just below it, and at the same time the other bucket it is comes under that funnel to collect the next rainfall. Okay, this arrangement is provided here. So the tipping of that buckets is connected to an electric circuit. So this circuit makes a pen to mark on a record sheet which is mounted on a clock driven revolving drum. Okay, so each mark on that record sheet is equal to 0.25 mm of rainfall. Okay, so by counting that number of marks on the sheet, the intensity of rainfall can be determined. Okay, so the moment of tipping bucket can also be transmitted either electronically to the control room or over a distances, and thus the rainfall is directly recorded into that control room without any manpower. Okay, so no graph paper or revolving drum is required for such type of rain gauge. The total rainfall determined from the records at the end of day. It can also be checked and verified by measuring the rainwater which is collected in the storage tank by means of graduated measuring tube in a same manner as recorded in non-recording type of rain gauge, or simply by with the help of Siemens rain gauge. Okay, so by using this Siemens rain gauge, we check the total amount of rainfall. Okay, so this type of rain gauges are more suitable to measure the rainfall in hilly areas. Okay, these tipping bucket rain gauge are mostly useful in hilly areas and areas which are not accessible, where the manual recording of rainfall is almost not possible. Okay, so this is about tipping bucket rain gauge. Next is the siphon gauge or float type rain gauge. Okay, it is a standard self-recording type rain gauge. So the following figure shows the construction of floating type rain gauge. The entry of rainwater through this funnel. Okay, this is a funnel, and through this conical funnel goes to the chamber is called as fla- float chamber. Okay, so when the level of rainwater collected in a float chamber increases, then a float moves up and connecting the rod is fixed to the float and a pin. Okay, so this rod is connected to float as well as pin, and when float moves up, then the pin connected to it through a connecting rod makes a trace of collected amount of rainfall. Okay, it also trace whenever there is a moment of float, ultimately that pin which is connected to the connecting rod, it makes a trace of collected amounts of rainfall on a graduated chart or a graph paper, which is wrapped around a clock driven revolving drum. Okay, so when the float chamber is entirely filled by rainwater, this float chamber is filled with the rainwater, then it is automatically becomes empty by means of this siphon. Okay, by using this siphon, it automatically becomes empty. So in India, this type of rain gauges is adopted by Indian Meteorological Department as a standard self-recording type of rain gauges. Okay, so this is the actual working of siphon type of rain gauge. Next is the sources of errors while recording the rainfall. Okay, so by calculating the rainfall or by recording the rainfall, various sources of errors occurs. These are: first is improper reading of scale of gauge. Okay, so if we read the improper reading of that scale of gauge, then it ultimately occurs the error while recording that rainfall reading. Okay, next is some water may be splash out from from the collector, which may leads to false reading. Okay, means some water may be splash from the collector, then it directly results in a error. It directly gives the errors or false reading. Okay, next is gauge if placed at an inclination, it may result in incorrect reading. Okay, so always kept the gauge as a horizontal on a horizontal surface. Okay, to avoid the errors while recording the rainfall. Next is some amount of water is dispatched by measuring stick. So from this also the errors can occur. And the last is when gauge is dry, it required 2.5 mm of rain to get it moist, due to which also error may occurs. Okay, so these are the points you have to remember while recording the rainfall to avoid all types of errors. Okay, hope you understand this video. Thank you.